Welcome to Actors Theater. Before we begin, I'd like for all of us to participate in an improv exercise. If you would, please. Could you please raise up your hands with me and grasp for the bar of high expectation?
Grasp it.
Grasp the bar of high expectation and hold on to that bar of high expectation. And now lower it. Yes. We are ready to begin. Excellent.
Thank you.
Los Cincos presents an episode from Leadership Theater, Chapter 5, Culture and Climate in Schools. Underpinning the procedures and protocols of any organizational institution lies the murky realm of culture and climate. As future educational leaders, you shall no doubt aspire to change the culture and climate of your community. No doubt you're full of ideas on how to do this, but be warned. Before you can change your culture, you must be able to recognize its invisible thread. It is tied to you. It pulls you to and fro, even now. But what is culture? How is that different from climate? To find out, let us look in on a cheery little conversation between a Mr. Oy and his good friend, Mr. Miskel.
I fancy the word climate because when you break it down, the word just makes sense. Climb is short for climb, which is required to get to the top of a mountain. And mate is like a girlfriend. Or a girl that you'll never have, boy.
No. I like culture. Because culture is something you can grow in petri dish, which is like science. Science is #1 study in knowledge. Unlike you, Miskel. Also, culture describes one's being like in state. Climate good word for weatherman or that liar Al Gore.
That's idiotic, boy. And you have a funny ponytail.
That makes no sense, Miskel. And you evade an argument yet again. What word should we use for Chapter 5? Climate or culture?
Climate is better because I said so.
But climate makes people think of temperature. They not understand that culture is sum total of ways living built by a group of human beings transmitted to others. That organizational culture is a system of shared organizations that hold the unit together and give a distinctive identity.
Yeah, so is climate.
You can't even spell that word. Why did I slip into another accent? Climate, more environmental conditions. It's like, okay, you know, I write Chapter 5, you use both climate and culture since they essentially mean same thing. On other hand, I can't believe a university gives you PhD, let alone degree at all. Oh well, maybe nobody noticed you write book with me.
As we can see from this rare glimpse into the minds of the two great men, culture and climate are actually, I'm not sure how they are different. So let's move forward and see what we can discover. At a recent professional development seminar in an unnamed but extremely local school district, we observed the seminar's facilitator discussing the well-known fact that in a healthy and effective organization, every member should, when asked, be able to identify the shared values without hesitation. Let us look in as the trainer queries an unnamed district leader about said core values.
In a successful organization with a strong and effective culture, the members of that group should be able to, when asked, state the core values of that group. So, Mr. Unnamed District Leader, what are the central values of your district?
Well, the central values of my district are whatever I want. Data. I value test data. I value disaggregated numbers. Data. And look at these numbers. Data.
Very well. So the question is, what is culture? And we can think about culture in a structural way and look at its levels. To recognize culture, we must understand these levels. According to many smart guys, culture can be categorized into 3 independent but distinct levels. Norms, and underneath the norms are values, and underlying it all, assumptions. Norms are superficial. They are informal. They are unwritten expectations in the behaviors. They are transmitted through rituals and ceremonies. Norms are often easy to identify and often easy to change. Now consider the example of this norm, a staff who never criticizes the administration.
Dude, I can't believe it. I got a class of 65. They gave me 10 more students.
I'm sure they know what they're doing. Trust in the administration. They care about us.
Now consider the opposing, but equally likely tradition of always criticizing the administration.
Dude, I can't believe it. I got a class of 65. They gave me 10 more students.
Got dandruff, son of bitches.
That's what I said.
Cheese and rice, man.
Okay.
Biscuit eating motherless sons of goat herders.
Indeed. Now the next level of culture, from which norms are derived, are the underlying values. Values are shared beliefs about what is desirable. They define how members should act to be successful. In a strong culture, we find that a group identifies with the same values. But this is not necessarily a good thing. We have positive values like loyalty, cooperation, and trust, and negative values, such as an overemphasis on autonomy and privacy. In our next example, we see how values concerning trust can promote a positive culture or prevent it.
All right, buddy. I'm gonna catch you. You can trust me.
I trust you.
I trust you.
I trust you. I trust you.
Let's go, buddy.
Okay.
Synergy.
All right.
Got you. Got you, brother.
I trusted you. You can
Now
trust me, man.
Now we find a perhaps negative value when autonomy is valued over trust.
I got you. Come on, just in case, man.
Catch me, right?
I got a doctor's jacket on. Come on. I got on early. I'm gonna apologize.
Catch me,
I'm
right?
gonna catch you. Come on. I got it. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Payback!
That would be an example of positive and negative values. And finally, underlying all of this, the deepest level of culture is our tacit assumptions. These are abstract premises that we take for granted as being true. They almost always remain unconfronted and undebated. These regard deep questions about human nature, truth, and reality. To illustrate these tacit assumptions, let us take the example of a slightly anxious vice principal as he conferences with his psychologist.
Oh, I have a Stebbins. Hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out. I'm so sick and tired of these kids.
Oh, physical cue. Josh, calm down. Why are you upset?
This is one kid, man. He's driving me crazy all the time. He's just causing problems. He's getting into fights, day in and day out.
Okay.
No matter how many detentions I give him, no matter how many threats I give him, he's still the same.
Okay. Let's get down to the core. Why do you think this student acts this way?
Because he's damaged, man. He is damaged. What? I just want to get rid of him. You know, when you get rid of one of the bad ones, he stops rubbing off on the good ones. You know what I mean?
Okay, let me add on to this. Why do you think getting rid of him will help?
Because it's worked before. You get rid of the problem kids and the other ones shine.
So you don't believe that you can change the student's nature?
No way. Once damaged, always damaged.
Tacit assumptions.
So we see that at the root of the principal's norms and values underlies his basic assumption, an unquestioned assumption that bad apples will never taste good. So now let us move on to the idea of recognizing our own culture. Understanding the structure of culture is possible for an objective, reasonable theorist, such as the venerable gentleman's Oy and Miskel. But what about the typical school administrator, embedded within said culture without a moment's rest, to rise above the fray and glimpse the clarity of it all? How can such a leader possibly understand the culture around them? how can they know they are part of a healthy and productive culture? Or perhaps one that is not? As we shall see, it may simply be a matter of perspective. At St. Clair's Middle School in Dover, a new and vibrant young professional has taken over. He is really feeling positive about the positive vibes he is feeling all around him. But is he right?
New school! Yay! Positive vibes! Yay! Healthy, productive culture! Yay! I'm liked! Yay! Students good! Yay! Just in case, here's a test.
The tool the principal is using is known as the Organizational Health Inventory, or OHI. It is a calibrated questionnaire used by organizations for over 20 years to objectively establish the health of the overall school climate. Let us see how our teacher responds.
Let me see. Question number 3. Do I feel my input is important to the administration? I don't even know if this guy knows what my name is. Hell no! Hell no. I don't give credit.
Results! Yay! Data! Yay! Proof that... No!
The lesson to be learned here is quite obvious. How can one have any hope at all of changing a school culture if they do not actually know what it is? At this moment, we'd like to put the emphasis back on our audience. We ask you these questions. What are the norms and values at your school organization? Are those norms and values positive, or do they have a negative result? I'd like you to ponder these questions for the moment and have a short discussion with those next to you. Once again, what are the norms and values of your school? And are they productive or not?